So welcome back guys, welcome to the part 2 of Ecobee 5 Smart Thermostat walkthrough. If you haven't watched the part 1, I would recommend you to click on the above link and have a look at it. In part 1, we took a look at how a smart thermostat works, like what are the characteristics of a smart thermostat, how you can buy one without spending a fortune, and we took a look at what's inside the Ecobee 5 box. So in today's video, we'll be taking a look at the Ecobee 5 smart thermostat installation, and we will be discussing on the points where I came into a conclusion I need to buy Ecobee 5 over Google Nest. So guys, just to let you know, I'm not trying to degrade any product, like I'm just trying to discuss the points which one product is offering on top of the other one. So that's all about this video. So without wasting much time, let's go ahead into the installation part. Before moving into the installation steps, it would be a good idea to take a picture of the wiring so that if you need to revert the changes, it needs to be like it was before. And especially if you are living in a rented house, you don't want to mess the wiring. And the next thing is electrical 101. Any stuff you are working on electricity, turn off the mains. Let's get started.
So guys, this is how my existing thermostat looks, and as you can see, it's pretty basic in function. Like there are buttons to increase and decrease temperature, and buttons to turn on the AC or turn on the heater as you wish, fan control modes, as well as simplistic temperature readout display. So this is the back panel of my existing thermostat, and you can see already 4 wires over here, R, W, Y and G. And you can see there is no C wire on my existing thermostat. This is because my existing thermostat uses the batteries to power itself and provide a constant power supply.
So if you have a 4-wire setup at your place, just like how I had it in my place, you would be needing a C wire for Ecobee 5 to operate without any interruptions. So if you don't have a C wire at your place, don't worry about it. We have a couple of workarounds. So the first one is you can call your maintenance guy and have a C wire drawn from your electrical circuit board or somewhere else. But that would involve like a lot of work at their end. They will be needing to dig and draw wire and conceal them once again, and it can get pretty messy and costly as well. So the next workaround is to use a C wire adapter. It looks something like this. So you can purchase it from Amazon, and it looks like one end of it is having an adapter where you can plug it into the socket, and the other end is having 2 wires where you need to plug it to the RH and C of your thermostat. So just to let you know, like I had tried using the C wire adapter, but it didn't work at our end. So when I called up the customer care of Ecobee, they mentioned like both gas and electric is in single unit, then you won't be able to use the C wire adapter. I tried it, so it was not working. Only the heat was working and the cool was not. Like either of them will only be working at that time. That's why we are going ahead with the third approach, which is using the PEK kit. PEK stands for Power Extender Kit. So we will be going ahead and installing the PEK first, and then we move on to putting the wiring at the thermostat end.
So guys, this is the power extender kit which we received along with Ecobee 5. On the one end you can see RGYW already labeled, and the other end also has 5 different wires also labeled. It also comes with a magnet at the back so that it stays inside the furnace unit. After a lot of difficulty, I finally removed the panels of my furnace. And this is the wiring board of my furnace. There are a couple of wires you can see over here. On the left side there is GC, Y and C. On the right side there is GH, R and W. Each of them has wires running from it. You can see C has 1 wire, Y has 2 wires, GC 1, R and W is also having 1 wire. So don't be scared by the look of your electrical board. It can be simply done in 3 steps. So the first step is to remove the wires R, W, Y and G from your electrical board and plug it into the PEK as shown. These are the same wires which you can see at the back of your thermostat. Now the final step is to connect the white labeled wires into the respective slot into your electrical board. So for example, C wire will be going into the C terminal, Y wire will be going into Y terminal, and so on. this is how it should look in the end. So we have connected the power extender successfully, and let's place it inside the furnace. Make sure you don't have any loose wires because your interiors of the furnace are metal, and if there are any loose wires, there is a chance of electrocution. So I have removed all the wires from my existing thermostat, and it would be a good idea before you remove the wires to take a picture of the connections, because it is very important to know which wire was connected in which slot. So we'll be removing this back plate and connecting the back plate from Ecobee 5 and along with the back connector. This is where the leveler comes handy. So the idea is to have the bubble in between the lines, and then only you'll be able to understand if your back panel is aligned correctly or not. Let's plug the wires onto Ecobee now. So if you had a C wire, your wire should be placed in the same slot how it was in your old thermostat. Since we are using PEK here, we will be having a slightly different wiring. So the red wire which was in RC will be going into RC of Ecobee. It's a switch based slot, not screw based. So the green wire which was in G will be going into C slot. The blue wire which was in Y will be going into PEK slot. And the white wire which was in W will be going into W. So the wires were pretty straightforward in my case, that's why I didn't have to use the stickers which we got. So let's connect the Ecobee 5 and start it up. There will be basic initial setup which we need to go through. So it will be asking for the wires which are connected in the back panel, so select the ones which are only connected. Ecobee usually detects the wiring, but for me it didn't, so I had to manually configure it. Answer a couple more questions.
Now coming to why I chose Ecobee Smart Thermostat over the others in the market. So during my entire research, there were majorly two major contenders in the market. One was the Google Nest Learning Thermostat and one was the Ecobee Smart Thermostat. There are others in the market, but the others didn't much convince me into buying. But the features, when I read other reviews, these two were the only ones which made it to the top of my list. So a couple of pointers which enabled me to select Ecobee Smart Thermostat over the Google Nest Thermostat were, one of them being the inbuilt Alexa. Like I said before, your Ecobee thermostat can double up as Eco as well. So you can just basically say, Alexa, increase the temperature to 70 Fahrenheit.
The heat's set to 70.
This feature may work if you have a Google Nest as well. Just say, hey Google, increase my temperature. Now the next feature which really impressed me is your Ecobee can act as a security monitor. Don't believe it? I'll explain it to you. So this small thing over here has a motion sensor built into it. It is basically for understanding the occupancy for the room. So in the Apple Home Hub, you can set up an alert notification for this sensor or any sensor, whichever you want. And what it will do is it will give you an alert notification whenever there is a motion detected in that room. But this will be working only if you are connected to your home Wi-Fi. That's why I'm urging you, if you are using an Apple Home Hub, you need to have an Apple TV or an iPad always connected to your home Wi-Fi. So I don't have an Apple TV or iPad at home. So if I have to use this feature, I have to buy one. I'm not going to do that. But it's totally your choice. So Apple users, again disappointed? Don't be. Ever heard of a thing called IFTTT? It's short form for if this then that. Let me explain it to you.
So as the name suggests, IFTTT is a free app which allows us to create conditions called applets to execute any particular task. For example, you can set up a condition to check your room's humidity level from your Ecobee thermostat, and once it drops to a certain level or increases to a certain level, you can control your Wi-Fi switch to turn on and turn off so that you can control your humidifier. We'll be doing something similar for our case also, where we'll create a condition that if Ecobee senses a motion, then trigger an email. To achieve that, you need to search for the Ecobee app and log in with your Ecobee ID. Then search for the Ecobee Motion Detect applet and connect to it. You will be prompted for email credentials if you're not connected before. Then enter your email details and connect to the applet. Once connected, and whenever Ecobee goes into away mode and detects any kind of motion, an email will be triggered to you.
The other two feature which is unique for Amazon Alexa, I'm not sure if it is unique for Amazon Alexa, but I found it in Amazon Alexa, is you can make a call to your Amazon Alexa. So basically you can call to your thermostat wherever you are. So for some reason, if whoever is at home and their cell phone is not working and they want to call you or you want to call them, all you have to do is just make a phone call from your Alexa app to your thermostat and you can talk to them easily. And another feature is a drop-in feature. So this can go hand in hand with the security monitoring thing. Because if you see any kind of motion detected in your place and you know there is nobody at home, all you have to do is drop in into your thermostat and you'll be able to hear whatever is happening at your place. Pretty cool feature, right? So another reason why I selected the Ecobee Smart Thermostat are because of these guys. These are the smart sensors like I explained before, and these smart sensors have the temperature sensor as well as the motion sensor in it. Google Nest also has the additional sensor, but it can measure only temperature, no motion sensor over there. So this is another big feature which compelled me to go for Ecobee thermostat. So I have 2 bedrooms at my place and I wanted sensor in each of the bedrooms. So how does the sensor and Ecobee 5 work hand in hand? So you have to basically pair your smart sensor with Ecobee 5. Ecobee 5 has 3 different modes. One is sleep, one is away, and one is home. You have to basically set these 3 modes based on your schedule. You have to set up on the timings, like when you want these modes to be activated. The next step is to have these sensors listed as participating for that particular mode. So what that essentially means is Ecobee will refer to the temperature sensors or readings from these sensors who are participating for that particular mode. For example, if you have your sleep mode activated and I have listed only my bedroom sensors to be participating for that particular mode, the Ecobee 5 will be selecting the temperature from only that particular sensor. Now, if all the sensors are participating for that particular mode, what Ecobee 5 will do is take an average reading from all the sensors and then set the temperature to that average reading. This is what makes the smart thermostat smart, because my old thermostat was not capable of doing anything. It will just set the temperature which it is able to gather from that particular thermostat location and not from the individual rooms. That's why I recommend using the smart thermostat. So a few other small features which help me in getting Ecobee 5 over Google Nest is the dual band support. If your 2.4 gigahertz is overcrowded, you can connect it to 5 gigahertz and have no interference over there as well. Another one is having Bluetooth enabled in the Ecobee 5. So if you have a Bluetooth speaker, you can stream your music through the Bluetooth speaker as well. So those were the likable points of Ecobee 5. Like any product, Ecobee 5 also have good and bad side as well. So not so good points of Ecobee would be, having a C-wire. Like I mentioned before, it needs to have a C-wire. Google Nest doesn't require a C-wire. I've seen people not using the C-wire and still it's working fine. But Ecobee 5 really needs a C-wire. And the next thing is the looks of Ecobee. So the looks of Ecobee is pretty conventional and not that awesome looking like Google Nest. I'll admit that. Google Nest looks freaking awesome and futuristic. But Ecobee is let's say. So for the looks department, I would definitely recommend Google Nest. Alright, so the next feature which really interested me was the geofencing. So what geofencing means is like you will set up a virtual radius from your place where you're living, and the idea is if you step out of that radius, Ecobee should ideally turn off the thermostat. And when you enter back to that radius, Ecobee should turn it on automatically. So the thing is, I had the Ecobee app in my Apple phone and my Android phone also. So the Android version of Ecobee has the geofencing inbuilt into the Ecobee app. But the Apple didn't have it. Why Ecobee? Why? So good news for Android users, you can easily use geofencing from your Android app. But Apple users, you have a workaround.
Since we already have integrated IFTTT with Ecobee, we just need to add the location applet. So you need to search for the location applet like we searched for the other ones, and we need to select two rules. One would be to activate the Ecobee as soon as you enter the set radius, and one would be to turn off the Ecobee as soon as you step out of the radius. Once you select the rule, you will be asked for providing the location, or at least the radius of location which you want to set, and then you'll be asked for profile to be set at each instance, like when you are entering or exiting the geofence.
So voila, there you have it, geofencing in Apple phone. You can't defeat us, Ecobee. We are better than you. Alright, coming to the last point, which is the self-learning capabilities. So both Ecobee 5 and Google Nest Thermostat has the self-learning capabilities, and they can detect your patterns, the usage and everything, and they can give you suggestions. The only difference is Ecobee 5 will just suggest you in form of your reports after analyzing everything, but Google Nest will actually implement it. So this is again a personal thing where I wanted to take a look at my usage and everything, my reports, and make the changes by myself. But if anybody just needs to automate everything, they can go for the Google Nest. So guys, that was everything I knew about Ecobee 5 based on my usage, based on my research and all those details. I brought my information in front of you guys. If you think I have mentioned any incorrect information, please add it into your comments so that I'll educate myself. So guys, that was it on the Ecobee 5's walkthrough video. Like, we saw the part 1 and part 2. If you haven't seen again the part 1, you can click on the above link and take a look at it. And in today's video, like, just to summarize, we saw how to install Ecobee 5 using a power extender kit, and then we discussed on the pointers regarding how I concluded I need to go ahead with Ecobee 5 than Google Nest. So thank you so much once again, guys. Like, if you liked my video, make sure you like it and share it with your friends. And again, I would really appreciate if you can click on the subscribe button and be notified of my future uploads. Thanks once again, guys. I love you all, and once again,
I'll be back.
ciao.